Welcome to day five of the building $1 million business. That's what we're all about over here. Is just doing business, nothing more, nothing less. So for day 5, we're going to start a US company. Like seriously, we're going to start a US company right here from Kenya. And it's not really difficult as you may think. But before you get into that, why is everyone commenting some weird things on the channel? Like, who are these guys? Maximilian Osborne. Seriously? If you have something to comment, make sure you comment something that is sensible, that is going to help others. Otherwise, I'm going to block your comment and you're going to be wasting your time. But with that said, let me show you how easy it is to start a US-based company right here in Kenya. And remember, our cleaning company is a legit company. So we're doing everything by the book, but of course, keeping the costs low because, man, we don't have money to spend. Like it's Corona period, we want to keep our budget so low. Okay, so the various ways that you're going to, you can be able to start a US company. And for the most part, you have to decide what type of business you'll be running. By the type of business, I don't mean the niche. I really mean, are you going to start an LLC, which means a limited liability company? Are you going to start an S Corp? I really don't know what an S Corp means. Are you going to start another type of company? For our business, we're going to stick with the LLC, basically a limited liability company. So why do you want to do an LLC? You know, just in case I make some nice money, then along the way somebody comes and sues me, like my cleaners have broken their glasses or stuff like that. I don't want the IRS coming and, you know, getting all my property. Like, I don't want all my assets to be attached to the business. So when you have an LLC, the LLC is different from your personal assets. It's something like, what can I say? I think in Kenyan, it's something like having a sole proprietorship business and a company. In case you owe someone money and you're running a sole proprietorship, and the guy decides to sue you, all your assets can come and be taken by these other guys. So we're just basically trying to protect ourselves over here. You know, you never know what can happen along the way. So we're going to start an LLC. And of course, man, I'm not an accountant or a tax professional or all those nice professionals. If you need more information about this, just talk to your accountant or maybe just do some Googling. I've just been Googling and I don't know anything better than you. I don't know anything more than you. I've just been Googling. So you go ahead and Google. So, why do you want to start an LLC? It's simple. It's because you can start it as one person, or you can even call a couple of your guys or your homies, your wife, your kids, and incorporate them into the business, and you have a real business, like just like that. For this business, we're going to establish a company in 2 states. No, basically it's in 1 state, but I'm going to give you an option of 2 states. So you can either establish an LLC either in Delaware or in Wyoming, or is it Wyoming? Either of the two will work. These 2 states are really known for having low taxation and they have a very easy business environment. So whether you're from the US or you're not from the US, it's so easy to start a business in either of these 2 states. For our case, I'm going to start a business in Delaware. Basically, I just love Delaware because their taxation rates are so low. So it just makes sense. But if you want to go with Wyoming, still the same. Really doesn't matter wherever you register. The thing is, get the business registered. All right. So how do we go about registering the business? So here is where we're going to spend some money. Yeah. You thought this thing is going to be easy? You have to spend some money. It's business, man. You also pay for your license. So of course you have to spend some money. So there are 3 companies that I recommend that you can contact and be able to have your own US business. So for the companies, I'm going to talk about them just in a couple of minutes. And of course, you need to have some money to spend with the companies. So the first company is called Stripe. Okay, so you guys, in the last video we set up a Stripe account. If you remember that, we set up a Stripe account. So why am I talking about Stripe? Well, it turns out that Stripe actually helps people to set up US businesses. They have a subsidiary called Stripe Atlas, and the sole purpose of that subsidiary is to help people like you and me set up like real US businesses. So if you want to get started, just go to stripe.com/atlas. So I'm just hopping on my laptop. So let's see, stripe.com/atlas. And when you go there, you're going to see everything that you're going to get from the subsidiary. So basically, Stripe will allow you to have a US business, you have a US bank account, you have a US something called an employee identification number. Think of it as your national ID number. You need an EIN to open a US bank account. So Stripe is going to take care of that for you. So as we're scrolling over here, you can just see, okay, turn your ID into a startup. You can read there and see whatever these guys are going to offer you. Like literally, you can get started in about 10 minutes. And well, all countries are allowed to start a business. And here is the cost. Yeah, you can see the cost is only $500. Okay, that's $500. That's like 50,000 Kenya shillings to start a US company. So you might be wondering like, man, 50K is too much. Yes, it's too much. It's a pandemic, but man, we are building a $1 million business. So keep the end goal in mind. $500 is nothing compared to like how much you'll be getting at the end, like in the long run. So yes, 50K is much, but man, if you don't have the 50K right now, go ahead and hustle. I mean, like, get a side job. I don't know, ask your moms or paps, like, get some money, get into your savings, go into Mshwari, whatever it takes. You get that 50,000 and you register. So registration is very simple. Just click here, start your company. Then they're just going to ask you the usual questions, like your name, your address and stuff like that, email, of course, password, what. You set up those things, and eventually you'll be led to a page where you have to pay the $500, and after paying, you're going to get your US company formed plus the EIN, which is the employee identification number. You're going to get them in your email in about 7 to 10 days. So I'm not going to sign up with Stripe Atlas because I have other options. So this one was just one of the many options. And if you guys Google around, you're going to find even more other options, but Stripe Atlas is one that I recommend. You guys can go and check it out. So apart from Stripe, the other company that can help you start a US company when you're not a US citizen is called Jumpstart.co. I just came across this company when I was browsing FB, those things of retargeting. These guys are really good at retargeting. I think they saw me hovering at Stripe Atlas, then they got my cookie somehow. I saw the company on FB, and that's how I came to know about them. They just offer the same service as Stripe Atlas. You get a US company, you get a US bank account, you get the employee identification number. Also, all that is done within 7 to 10 business days. You get all those things in your email. Okay, why is these things? Okay, I think my net is going down, but we'll just hold on there until Jumpstart opens. Let me see. Okay, I don't know. Maybe my net is down, but let me just try that again. Jumpstart. Oh, it's not Jumpstart. It's called jumpstartfilings.co. It's not jumpstart.co. It's jumpstartfilings.co. Yeah, and there we have it. You can see like you launch your business. We'll handle the paperwork. What. You can go take all these things that they offer you. Free US tax returns. Of course, the tax man is very, very strict in the US. It's not like KRA, so you have to pay your taxes. These guys will help you pay your US taxes. Then they'll help you obtain an EIN, that's the employee identification number. For my US company, you can see that. Open Stripe or PayPal. they can help you with that. Open a business account. Of course, when the customers will be paying, we want the money is going to our bank account. Of course, they can't go to the Kenyan bank accounts. They have to be wired to a US bank account. These guys will help you open a US bank account, create an Amazon account. You can just scroll through the website and see whatever these guys do, and if you're happy with them, you can check the pricing. These guys are a little bit cheaper than Stripe Atlas, so that's why I decided to put them on the video. You can see the basic package helps you. Let me see. Yeah, for the basic package you only pay $218. Remember, for Stripe it was $500, which is 50k. So for this one it's to $18, which is basically 20k, and and with 20k you can have a US bank account, you can form a US company, and you can have a US employee identification number. So that's 21,800. If you're good with that, there it is. The next company that you can use to form your US based company is called Fastbase.io. So I'm going to hop on my laptop so that you guys can see what the company looks like. Okay, that's Firebase.io. Let me see. Oh man, saying site cannot be reached. That is weird. Okay, Fastbase.io, there is the company. You can just read and see what these guys have to offer. Just the same things, like your bank account, US EIN, which is basically a tax ID, US address setup. Remember, in the last video on Stripe, we talked about a US address. So when you sign up with these guys, they're going to give you a US address. Then of course US bank account, post incorporation documents, what. Damn, lots of things. You're going to get lots of things. Let me see. Yeah, so for the cost, these guys, their cost is only $399, which is basically 40,000 Kenya shillings. So they're also cheaper than Stripe Atlas, but they're a little bit expensive than Jumpstart filings. But regardless of how you decide to go, it's fine. So I've already given you three alternatives. We have Stripe Atlas, costs $500. Then you have Jumpstart filings, costs $218. Then we have Fastbase.io, costs $399. Now let's talk about the final option, which is the option that I used and which is the cheapest of them all. I'm keeping my costs low, so you have to understand, if I opt for cheaper options, it's because money is tight. So the option that I chose is called Delaware Inc. This is the cheapest option that I've found when it comes to building registering a US company from abroad. So I'm just going to go to the website. The website is here, delawareinc.com, and you can see the cost of incorporating a company is just $179. That's like 17,900 or 18,000. That's so cheap. It's cheaper than Stripe Atlas, which is $500. Of course, also cheaper than Jumpstart filing, which is like $218, and of course cheaper than Fastbase.io, which is $399. So for $179, you can get your own US company right here from Kenya. And this is the company that I used, and which is also recommend you use, especially if you're loan funds like me, like brokers people. This is what we're going to use. No need to be using all these other expensive options. Okay, so I'm just going to log into my Delaware Inc. account so that you see they already registered my company. It's called Maids in Charge LLC. So I'm a proud American business. I'm a proud Kenyan owner of an American business. I'm a proud Kenyan of, hey man, English ni kizungu mkuti. But what I mean is, now I own a US based business. You guys, I know you understand what I'm trying to say, right? Okay, so let me log into the account. Where is it? Just 1 minute. Okay. First of all, you can see my certificate. There is the certificate of formation, Maids in Charge LLC, a Delaware Limited Liability Company. Remember, we chose Delaware because they have low taxation, a Apart from that, it's so easy to start a business in the state, even if you're in Kenya or in any other country. So that's why we went with Delaware. You can see the name of the limited liability company is Maids in Charge LLC. Then you can see where it's registered in the state of Delaware, what. There is my business license. Okay, I'll just log into MDC so that you guys can see my account. Where is the login, man? Where is the login, man? So there is the login dashboard. You can see my companies. There is Maids in Charge. That's the company that I registered with Delaware Inc. You can see my bills over here, some other information. That's the amount I paid, $179. Now I have a US based business. Right, we're now in business. Next thing, I think we'll be getting customers and we need some money flowing in the bank accounts. Now, talking about bank accounts, so these guys are cheap because they're not going to get you a bank account. Remember the other services that we've looked at, they're offering you company information plus a US based account plus a US based bank account plus an employee identification number. But these other guys of Delaware Inc, they're only registering the business for you. So you have to find your own US bank account as well as the employee identification number. The best thing is that these things are so easy to do. So for the bank account, we're going to go with a company known as Pioneer.com. If you've been in the online space for some time, you probably know what Pioneer.com is. If you haven't been in the online space for some time, just go to payoneer.com and register for a free account. So that's Pioneer's website. Just go to Pioneer, click register, fill in the normal stuff, like your name, email, address, what, confirm your email. After that, you'll get approved. Then they're going to issue you with a US based bank account. So I'm just going to log into my account so that you see the account. There is me inside the account, and you can see I have 3 US bank accounts. So for the cleaning business, I've decided this is the account I'm going to be using, and this is the information that you'll need to put on Stripe. You can see the name of the bank, First Century Bank, bank address, routing number, the account number, account type. So this is the information you'll need to go and put back on Stripe. And with that said, so we now have a US company, we've already registered it. Now we have a US bank account. The last thing is the EIN, which is the employee identification number. Now, if you don't have an EIN, you cannot use Stripe, and you can also not get a US bank account. These other US bank accounts like Mercury or stuff like that. So you need an EIN. The best thing about an EIN is that you don't need to pay any company to get you one. However, you'll have to call the US by yourself. Just make sure you could load your phone with about 500 credit, then call at around 10 p.m. because that's when it's around, I think it's around 10 a.m. over there. You have to call at night so that you get an EIN. This is the number you need to call. That's the IRS number. When you call them, tell them you're not a US citizen and you want an EIN. They're going to ask you about your company name. You're going to give them their company name that has been registered. They're going to ask you your details, things like your address, your name, stuff like that. Then they're going to issue you with an EIN. The EIN is just issued over the phone. Like, you'll just write it down and you have your EIN. Think of the EIN as your ID number, but you need it. That's a legal number that is used in the US. So I already did that yesterday night. I got my EIN over the phone. Right now I'm good. When you get your EIN, just go to Stripe, put it wherever it's supposed to be put, and you're good to go. So there we are. Right now we are in Stripe. Let me just close these other tabs so that things are easier for everyone. Well, you can see Stripe wrote to me an email. Thanks for submitting your account information. You're now ready to make live transactions. That means we are now in business. We just need to get some customers to give us their monies. And all those credit cards that they're having, they should just give us some of their monies. Yeah, you guys thought it was a joke, man. This is serious, man. This is serious. We need some of those dollars flowing back into Kenya. Okay, so Stripe have already sent me the welcome email because I've already filled all those information that we needed. And Well, there's my Stripe account, no more red stuff, so we're good. You can see business details were added, email is verified, so basically we are good to go. And that is how day 5 is. So day 5 was all about setting up a US based business. I've already given you the options. You know the companies that offer the service, you know which ones are the most expensive ones, and you know which ones are the cheapest ones. You know how to keep your costs low. So far I spent $179 to get the company registered. Well, that is something I'll need to watch on my budget, because we're running a business here, not a donation or a charity thing. So I need to get the money flowing in quick so that I can offset the losses. And man, that is how our day 5 concludes. Now, after day 5, we're going to some nice things. We're now just going to assess the competition. And man, this is where the war starts. All these competitors that are in the landscape, I'm coming for them. All the competitors that started before me, I'm coming for them. That is how this thing is. It's a sport, man. Like it's a sport. I need to go and play my part. And with that said, we'll see how this thing turns out. Until then, I'm coming. No.